What's going on? You're in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary, and welcome into the third and final installment of a series focused on local music right here in the old Pueblo, Tucson, Arizona. I just want to jump right into this next project from a band, Watercolor. This record is entitled Time and Space, and it was released on January 29th. Lovely project from a number of fantastic musicians here in Tucson, Arizona. I was gifted this record by my buddy William Fitz, who performed on a number of songs. He played drums on this thing, and it'd been really cool to just sit around with him the other night and a few other friends, throw this record on, and just talk about some of the background, the way this thing came together. These guys recorded this project through COVID, and so it was interesting. Billy's talking about how, they basically just set up in the backyard of their buddy's house, gave themselves their space and hooked up and made sure everything was good to go, and a little bit of extra effort as far as managing the levels and stuff. But I just want to give a shout out to everybody involved with this project, because you all were just so fantastic on this thing. Amy Belk, Andrew Berg, Andrew Gardner, Ben Morris, Chuck May, David Greenbaum, Doug Angleton, who sadly passed away, rest in peace, Gabby Montoya, Gray Matzik, Jason Gartwaite, Jim Waters, John Matzik, John Reed, Kate Millett, Mario Cordova, Mom and Dad, whoever you are, Noel Matzik, Orion Tiss, Rick Davies, Sean Miller, Sir Honky Tonk, and my buddy William Fitz. And then all these songs written by John Matzik except Beggars, which was written by Jason Gartwaite. And these songs were mixed and engineered by Jim Waters. Fantastic job, Jim. Really, you absolutely killed it. Along with Dave Eck, who mastered this thing. This record sounds great. It's also beautiful, too. I want to just pull it out here for you real quick. So for $20, you can get this nice little package and this beautiful wax. Really just, it looks amazing. It sounds amazing. Very impressive project. The local Tucson music community really representing quite well. This record's got a great feel, psychedelic punk. There's definitely a bit of chamber pop on this thing. There's a lot of songs with great harmonies, and I could just not help but think of the Beach Boys, and I really dig the way that they were working with this record. Contemporary bands singing like Neutral Milk Hotel, Pavement, Kurt Vile, and there's moments where this record, that folk element almost gets kind of like a little punkish, and I couldn't help but think of Andrew Jackson Jihad. Love that band. Love how quirky they are. And lyrically, just a lot of great perspective on this record. This is how a COVID record should sound. A lot of artists recording music through that period. And there was certainly a lot to write about. I just think direct references are not a good way to, write a record that people are going to want to listen to 20 years from now. And I think the perspective on the songwriting, given everything that's going on, really is quite refreshing and wonderful to listen to. Even lyrically, when the moments go into darker territory, which, it happens, but I would say this is a very balanced record as far as the theme, and the tone for the most part is very upbeat. And I really dig the tempo of this record from start to finish. And it's got two different parts, Time and Space. Your first part, Time, is your A-side. And really, I would say that these tracks are... This album's kind of structured like Abbey Road. And the A-side and the B-side, very similar. As far as the A-side, you get... How do I want to phrase this? I don't want to necessarily say the bangers, because there's a lot of great music on the B-side, but the B-side has like 10 songs, big track listing, and the continuity on the record, and the way that B-side just flows from start to finish really reminded me of that. And William even said that was kind of part of the goal, working on that B-side, and well executed, really nicely done. But the A-side opens up with Repeat, indie folk vibe. It kicks right in. Really dig the build of the instrumentation on this particular song. Savior is your second song. I love this track. It's got this Creedence Clearwater Revival style acoustic intro. It's got a great piano element too as well from Ben Morris. And the Decemberists, it reminds me of the Decemberists a lot. It's the band that I just immediately thought of, and I really am digging John's guitar work on this song as well. Davenport's your third song. It picks up the tempo a little bit. You get a little bit of that folk punk feel on this song, and I like the keys. Made it sound like a xylophone on this particular song. Really nicely done there. Beggars, your fourth track. This backs off the pace, and you just get this really just great, strong, contemporary Americana feel in this track. Lots of different elements working into that, but it's there's a lot going on. That's just the best word for it. Just solid Americana. Time Machine. This is my favorite track. Ambient 90s alt rock feel with like a bit of an 80s post-punk feel to it as well. There's a lot going on this track, and certainly stands out in my opinion. Really impressed with that song. Heart is your next song. I believe that is song number 6 here, if I want to get this thing going here. Yes, Heart is your 6th song. It's got this chamber pop feel. Really like the way it fills out in this psychedelic fashion. I was immediately thinking of the Beach Boys when I heard that song. Great way to close off that A side. And then your B side, I'm not going to get into a particular track listing, because these things, like I said, they all have this great continuity, but I mean, this side just captures so much. I love the folk influence. I love the punk influence, the psychedelic influence. There's so much going on, and the way these songs move from one to another into one another as well is I just, every time I throw the B-side of this record on, I'm getting lost and enjoying it more and more and more, and absolutely just thrilled with this project. I think that if you're not familiar with this band and you want to check out a really good local project here out of Tucson, check these guys out. They have an excellent Bandcamp page, lots of stuff available as far as merch, but you can pick up this record for $20. Again, it's a beautiful package. Love the colored wax. They do have the cassettes there for $10. And if you are in Tucson on April 30th, these guys are playing at Sky Bar down on 4th Avenue. You should definitely go check that out. Unfortunately, I will not be in town to check that out, but if you're here, I would definitely encourage you to go by, say what's up to these guys, all these musicians. I don't know all of them, but I've met a handful of them over the years. Billy's a great guy. Some of these other players, just wonderful people, and I cannot commend you all enough for the marvelous job that you did on this project. I hope to see you all live soon. If you got other shows coming up, I will definitely keep posting links on the Bandcamp page to keep everybody else updated on that stuff. But we're going to vinyl please this thing for sure. Get on their Bandcamp, go check that out. I'll post the link, and stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews. We will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.